Hey guys, Nathan of the Rad Company, and welcome to another Relatable Garage Tour. And in today's video, we have Mr. Jimmy Wilkie here giving us a tour of his garage. What's going on?
Nothing much, just kind of chilling. It's a nice sunny day.
It is.
The weather's pretty good, so figured we'd do a garage tour. But yeah,
Heck
welcome to my garage.
Thank you.
It's not actually my garage. It's my parents' garage, but we figured that we would just have B give you the tour because I'm basically the only person that uses it.
Well, and you actually helped your dad in kind of building up this garage, right? I mean, basically making it to what it is today. While some people are really into detailing and like to detail their, in their garages and whatnot, some people like to work on their cars. And here in the garage, we actually have a project car that we'll be talking about just a little bit. So I guess let's just get started. So this is a three-car tandem is what this is. So it's a two-car with a three-car tandem here, which is kind of cool. So yours is the first house that actually has that.
And I like it just because you can set up all your tools and everything away. It's a lot easier to just walk back for some reason than walking across, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
so that's what I like about it a lot. It adds a lot more storage access, and you could realistically still park a car back there. I don't have the Miata in the garage today, but I could definitely fit it if I just cleaned it up a little bit.
All right, so let's get started with the square footage of this garage. So I know you didn't measure it, but what's kind of an estimate in here, if you could say? I'm guessing over 600 square feet.
Yeah, probably 650, 700.
Okay, because this bay right here, it's probably hard to tell. This is actually a pretty wide bay back inside here. And then the ceilings, I'm guessing, are probably, well, it looks like 10-foot ceilings. I mean, because you're about 6 feet and...
Yeah, I'd say probably about 10-foot ceilings. I don't really know. I mean, we can measure if we want. We can measure later and then put it in.
It's not a mezoring contest here, Jimmy. I mean, unless you want to. I mean, my ceiling's just slightly bigger than yours now.
A little bit lofted. Yeah.
So, all right. So let's start with what's below us, because what's below us is something that you've recently done, which is the flooring.
Yeah. So this is actually not epoxy. This is polyurethane, and it actually has sand in the top, like clear coat of it, and that adds more of like a grip to your foot. So this would normally be a little bit slippery if there's any water on it, but we actually got it all done to where it's not slick and you can work on stuff and it doesn't really hurt or anything. It's just a nice grippy material.
It is grippy, and so kind of going down here and feeling it, it is, it's not uncomfortable by any means, but you definitely have grip there, and it feels very durable.
Yeah, it's pretty solid, and the nice part about it is when my dad and I were about to get this all done, we actually filled all the cracks and crevices. So if you notice in the concrete, there are no cracks. You can see a little indentation like where it used to be, but it's not enough to actually hold any dirt. So cleaning the garage, whether it's with like a blower or like a squeegee or a mop, whatever it is really easy because you're not chasing down dirt that's stuck in cracks and crevices. It's all flat.
I mean, so what was kind of the process? I mean, did you guys have to refinish the floor and sand everything down before doing this, or what did you guys do?
Honestly, the company just came in, and the only prep work that we did was just filling the cracks. And they came in, and I was at work when they were doing it, but I'm pretty sure they knocked it down, just sanded it down, and it only took them like a day. And they told us that the next day we could start using it, but we were extra cautious, and we waited about like 3 to 4 days. And then we parked stuff inside.
Did you pull everything out of the garage?
Yeah, so everything came out. We have a shed in the backyard, and so basically anything that was on the ground came out of the garage, went in the shed, and then just had them knock it out real quick and then put everything back. Cool. And we probably should have organized more when we put it back, but it is what it is.
All right, so next would be, let's talk about the walls here. So that's the first thing I noticed when I came into the garage is that you do have some good color on the walls as well as the ceiling, and some good trim accents. And I saw you started kind of doing this boarding here, this paneling. That looks pretty good. So I'm guessing you probably don't know what color you painted this.
Not really. It's been like, four or 5 months now. And 1 second. Spider.
Jesus, Jimmy.
So it's been about 4 months since we painted everything, so I honestly can't remember all the colors. I was one of the people who decided on the colors. My dad and my mom and I, we all were kind of like looking at what would go good with the floor, because we planned everything out before we did anything. And so as you can see, the color of the floor matches the trim and the walls. And so we wanted to go with something a little bit more blue to accent this dark gray. And so we ended up texturing the walls. So we sprayed We used a spray gun and we textured everything, and then just went through, masked it all off, knocked it out. We also textured the ceiling, so you can see the white ceilings are textured and they look pretty good now.
Yeah, they do.
And then the fake wooden beam, yeah, we started doing that. We just haven't finished it yet. For where we are right now, we're pretty happy with it. It's now just adding the small cherries on top. And just making sure everything's nice.
All right, so the next big thing, right, is we're gonna talk about some lighting here. Yeah. So what I've noticed is, you took a cue maybe out of Gabe's garage, or maybe you took your own cue. Maybe you're the one that started this trend. But we have our panel lighting, or I guess you could say our LED lights that are adjustable, and you can adjust those panels to whichever direction. Yep. And then I also see another light back there as well. So kind of walk us through what you're doing for this.
Yeah, so these are just Amazon panel lights. I mean, you can just look up LED panel light on Amazon, you'll find them. They're insanely bright, and they plug right into the
socket.
Yeah, the socket. I was gonna say OEM socket. I don't know why.
The stock
socket.
Yeah.
But yeah, they plug right into the socket. Super easy to install, and they are really bright. I mean, like if you have the garage doors closed, we have windows on this garage door, and it'll cast a giant beam of light out into the cul-de-sac, Yeah. And so it's really nice, pretty affordable. I think they were like $45. Yeah. And in terms of light back there, that's just old lighting that we haven't even replaced yet. Honestly, we need to. Because this is probably the darkest patch of the garage at the moment.
I could see it probably, I mean, basically because this beam right here kind of cuts off some of that light from there and creates a shadow on the backside here.
Correct.
And then it happens again once you get a little bit further because there's another cove inside there as well. So yeah, if you were to do lighting, a couple lights within inside here and then a couple lights within the back area of this cove would be pretty nice.
Yeah, and one of the plans that I had for lighting, and I have all the materials to do it, I just haven't done it yet, is I have this almost like acrylic paneling. It's like a frosted glass. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about putting it along the perimeter and hooking it up to like an LED switch. So basically it would be diffused LEDs that go all the way around and connect into the wooden beam. Yeah. Which I think would be really cool. It would give like that hex lights feel. But it wouldn't be too overbearing. It would fit in with all the trim work and everything. So
yeah, I think so. Okay, so from here, right now we're going to start talking about more of the fun stuff because this is a garage. It's a working garage, not just for automotive stuff, but I mean house stuff, anything. I mean, I'm seeing so many dang tools inside this thing. Yeah. Give us a rundown of kind of what you like to do in this garage, and we're going to kind of jump to your car here, your project car here in just a minute.
Yeah, no worries. So basically we have power routed, I think it's every 6 feet. Okay. So we have outlets on this wall every 6 feet, and some are doubled up. Just depends on where we used most of our stuff. And so this is kind of our charging bay for everything. We use all Makita tools. And so
not Milwaukee.
Not Milwaukee. I know.
I see. It's okay. I'm not offended. It's fine. Makita, Milwaukee,
They all start with M's. So yeah, we got all the charging right here. It's obviously a little bit cluttered right now. The bikes normally live in the shed, but we've been using them recently, so they're just out in here. Basically, we have all of our nuts and bolts and stuff, just miscellaneous stuff back here. We normally fab stuff up on this. So if we're welding anything, soldering anything, the metal tool bench is the best place to do it, because that way you don't feel bad if you drip anything on it or whatever. Yeah. All of our oils for my parents' cars and my cars is right here. In this cabinet, we have just paint supplies, so everything from automotive to furniture paint. Kind of going through, we've got just oil and fogging oil and just anything to grease or maintain small stuff. My parents are really into motorcycles. And then in here, we have just brake fluid, oil filters, IK sprayer, and just some other polishes and stuff like that, some car wash soap. But most of the detailing stuff gets kept in that middle cabinet. Okay. Just because that's the most accessible when we're doing stuff. This is just kind of overflow storage from the other two cabinets, to be honest.
This is it's just a good space. I actually really like this bay, and I think that, if, in my opinion, I think if this had more lighting, this would be it could be a show bay. It could be a really cool working area. I mean, the way I envision, things like this is that, like you said, you were into, your parents are into dirt bikes, you're into dirt bikes. I can already envision like a dirt bike sitting right here in the middle on a stand being worked on. Like it's pretty cool. I've always been a fan of how these tandem garages work. Yeah. And then you do have a back door to your backyard, which is cool. So another access point, as well as some natural lighting from the window, which I think is really cool as well. And so let's go into let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? The white elephant in the room, which is this guy right here. So this is your project car that you've been working on now for how long?
Man, it's been you start to lose track after the third one.
It's been well over a year.
Yeah, it's been well over a year. But what's funny is that there is another 240 that I own that kind of started all of this. If that one hadn't come around first, this one wouldn't be where it is now. Because originally I bought the kit for this, which is a Spirit Ray Miyabi kit for the other car, but after finding out that there was a ton of rust issues with that one, I decided to keep that one.
240 with rust issues?
I know, right?
Weird.
Yeah, crazy.
Never hear about that.
Yeah, and so basically I decided, okay, I'm not gonna put any money into this chassis because it's not worth it, so I'm gonna go and find a clean one. And so I found the cleanest one I could find in Idaho, and then had Dylan from Toy Sport install the rear quarters and mold them. And so, this is it currently. It's got just the factory K in it. It's on Fortunato Cup suspension, and I'm still waiting on a couple parts from paint, so that's why everything isn't put back together yet.
Okay, well, because this has been taking up a pretty big portion of this garage, right? A whole bay. Yeah. And so your parents have been pretty cool with this while it's been stored here, and but they've also just let you come out here and work on this. I mean, pretty much every day. Yep. And you have a whole SR20 over there. Yeah. In pieces. I mean, it's a whole one.
It's there. It's just it needs some help. It needs some work. So. Maybe after I get my own place, I'll start putting more money into that and building it up. But for now, ideally, I just want this car to be able to look good and move, and I'm going to worry about power once I figure out my own living situation. That's basically what I'm working on.
All right, so let's talk about some storage, right? So we've seen some of the cabinets there and kind of what you use for storing certain things. Obviously, you have your tool chests and the big cabinet over there, that big Husky cabinet, which is really nice. Yep. But is there any other cool places in this garage that you store stuff?
So there's only one other place, and that is just the attic up there. I can close the garage and show you guys
let's check it out. Yeah. All right, now, Jimmy, before you open that, is there anything you need to tell us? Are you stowing away any people? No. Is there, another family in there?
No, I've seen your garage tour, and I was a little bit concerned. But no.
They're fine, I promise. They're okay.
Yeah, they're fine. No, honestly, all that's stored up here is I'm into wakeboarding and stuff like that. So I have some wakeboarding stuff and some snowboarding stuff up here, and then just some miscellaneous Miata parts, some broken exhaust, stuff that maybe will come in handy later. I don't really know.
Very cool though. No, I am a sucker for these drop down ladder, storage things here, because I built mine out and I have to use just a normal ladder to get up into mine, and it's always kind of sketchy. Yeah. So I'm definitely interested in getting one of those installed in my house, and I think it'll be super, super helpful for storing extra stuff.
Yeah, right? And I think also you're getting older. It's probably in your best interest to get something that you're a little bit safer on, because the last thing you want to do is hurt yourself just doing normal household things, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, the one time I went to go pet my dog and I threw my back out for a week.
Hey, right? You never know what could happen. It's
never know. Out there. All right, so moving on, right? Something I've noticed that from a detailer's perspective that you probably don't look at the same way, right? You use this garage for a lot of working on car stuff, but not necessarily detailing. That's not your number one priority. But what I saw, I want to know if anybody else noticed this, is this right over here. So an actual water line here in the garage tapped over into all the way to the water heater with hot and cold water. Now, Jimmy, you do realize this is gold, right?
I do. Yeah, I do. I wasn't familiar with
the importance.
Yeah, the importance of hard water versus soft water.
Okay.
And so maybe down the road I'll get the Anthony solution package, But Yeah, I don't know. It's a perfect opportunity. You're completely right. I just honestly haven't even thought about it.
And I'm sure that this floor is pretty water resistant as well.
Yeah, no, it's super easy. I've done wireless washes in here multiple times, and it's as simple as literally getting, like I said, a squeegee and just pushing the water out. You don't really see any residual water hanging around. It doesn't feel like there's any moisture in the floor or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So another accessory, right, to the garage here that's extremely important. You got a refrigerator in here, right?
I do.
Levi has his deep freezer.
He does.
His freezer solution package that he loves so much with all of his delicious treats and all of that. But you have a refrigerator. You have the whole refrigerator and freezer.
Yep.
Does that water work at the door? Is it plugged in?
It does. Here. It doesn't. No, I'm just joking.
All right, so another big thing, right? When you're working on this garage, you know, when you're working in here, right? During the winter months, it gets pretty cold, right? Here in Idaho, we'll dip into 20s, teens, right? Even single digits occasionally. How the heck do you stay warm in here? Is it insulated at all?
So it is insulated. We went through and we made sure that we didn't have any, you know, like we had a lot of just spider cracking and stuff on the seals of the garage doors and stuff. So we went through and made sure everything's sealed now. And then we also have a heater right here that my dad welded up like a mount for it. So I'll go to bed on like a Friday night and then I'll wake up early in the morning, turn on the heater, right? Go make breakfast, whatever it is. And by the time I come out, in the wintertime, it is typically pretty warm to where you're able to work on stuff and just not be freezing. You can wear, you know, shorts and just kind of chill.
I don't know what that feeling is like, Jimmy, because when I come out in my garage, and I'm lucky if I can get it into the 40 degrees. But is this plumbed? It looks like it's just plumbed into the gas line, is what I'm assuming, and then it's got separate power running behind it up here, tucked away into this plug right here behind this ladder.
And it's all controlled right here.
Oh, it is. Okay, so you have like basically like a thermostat for that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not too bad. It's not too loud either, which is nice. And I'd recommend it. You should definitely do it.
Okay. All right. So coming up on our last bit here, right? We've seen the car, we've seen the floor, the ceiling, the walls, the lighting, the storage, the tools, a couple of the accessories, a couple of the other cool things. And actually really quick is one part that I kind of missed here is I really like what you did here with the airlines and the air, and so you have yourself a reel to that basically retracts in, and you could take that. Is this, be honest, is this air compressor pretty loud?
Yeah, it is ear deafening loud. I actually hate using air tools because of that. Yeah. I honestly wish it was a lot quieter. It's not too bad.
It's actually not that bad. It's not that bad. No. Because look, right here, even says 40% quieter operation. This really isn't that bad. I'm actually pretty impressed with how quiet that is. But for anybody interested, check out my garage tour where I talk about my Husky Silent Flow. It really is whisper quiet. So, all right. So last but not least, Jimmy, we're talking short-term and long-term goals for this garage. Okay. Short term, what's in the short list?
Short term is getting this beam done, right? Ideally, we want to run the wood down on the bottom and then onto the top, so it looks like a genuine wooden beam. Okay. Other than that, really just cleaning up everything, organizing a little bit more. We can always do a better job organizing stuff. Adding some extra lighting back here to liven up the area. Okay. And long term, I would like to paint this black. Leave the silver, obviously, where everything goes into the channels. Yeah. But getting this black would be really nice, but it would be a longer process. Definitely a lot of detail work. So I would put that as a long-term goal. And then now that you brought it up, the Sierra Spotless would be really cool as a long-term goal as well, to kind of go more detailing oriented by the time that the car is finished, so that I don't leave any water spots or anything like that.
Jimmy, I think that's going to wrap it up. Cool. For your garage. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to you as well as your parents.
As well as my parents,
for allowing me to come over and film this. Yeah. So Jimmy is one of our main videographers at the Rag Company. He does all of our cinematography, and so he has a bright future ahead of him. Obviously, being this much into his parents' garage, so I'll tell you right now, I didn't give a crap about my parents' garage when I was your age, and I think you're on the right path. And so
I think once I have my own spot, I think I'll be able to make it exactly what I want. After learning how much goes into a garage, I'll be able to make some pretty cool stuff.
I think that ideally your dream home would be a garage with a bedroom and a bathroom.
Yeah, something like that.
And something super nice.
Yeah, maybe like ideally like an airplane hangar.
Oh, okay.
And then just like a little apartment in the back would be like perfect.
Well, I'll talk to some people, see if I can pull some strings and make that possible for you.
But don't forget the Viper chair too.
And
got a call about that too.
That's what's really good.
Yeah.
It's going to tie it together,
exactly,
right? Forget the airplane hangar. It's that Viper chair that's really going to make it all possible. So, Jimmy, thank you so much, man. We had a really good time in here. Hopefully, gave some people some good ideas on maybe what they can do.
Yeah.
Heating, water. Whatever it may be, I think that there's a lot of good stuff to take away from this video. So as always, guys, if you guys like this video, make sure to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe down below for more, and stay tuned for more videos right here at The Rad Company.